So moving along through functions, we talked about tables and graphs. We talked about function notation and kind of interpreting what is this whole f of x stuff all about. I wanted to get into some lessons now dealing with equations of functions. In particular, this one we're going to talk about evaluating functions from equations. Evaluating means we put values in and we just calculate, well, what am I getting back? So substituting values in for variables and seeing what we got here. Okay, so I've got a linear function, f of x equals negative 2x minus 5. And I've got a quadratic function, g of x. Notice I'm using different names for the different functions. One's f, one's g. But g of x equals 3x squared minus 4x plus 1. All right, so let's take this function on the left, the linear one. Let's take function f. We're going to evaluate it for an x value of negative 3. Okay, so if we were asked to take f of negative 3, here's what we would do. That's saying make my x value negative 3. So I'm going to say, okay, negative 2 times negative 3. I'm going to substitute negative 3 in for x minus 5. I'm going to make my x value negative 3. I'm going to see what output value do I get back. Well, negative 2 times negative 3, that's going to equal positive 6. A negative times a negative is a positive. I still have my minus 5, and 6 minus 5 gives me an output value of 1. So summarizing it up, f of negative 3. If I input negative 3, I get back a value of 1. If I wanted to put it in coordinate point form, that would be saying when x is negative 3, my y value is 1. So that's evaluating a function. So we put a particular x value in, calculate it out, we get our y value back. Okay, let's do another one with a quadratic function here. So I'm going to take g, and I'm going to do g of, I love negative number examples. So let's do g of negative 2. If I'm inputting negative 2 in for g and evaluating out, what do I get back? So I'm going to same thing. I'm going to put negative 2 in for all x values. So we got 3 times negative 2 squared minus, I put it in all the x's, so it's minus 4 times negative 2 plus 1. All right, so we just input it, we put it in all the places. Now I actually get to calculate. This is where all my math is on that part. Let's see what we all have here. So order of operations, I square the negative 2 first. That becomes positive 4. A negative number squared becomes positive 4. So now I've got 3 times positive 4 minus 4 times negative 2 plus 1. So I just took care of the exponent. Next I go multiplication from left to right. So I'm going to do 3 times 4 to get 12 minus 4 times negative 2 is negative 8 plus 1. All right, my final step, just go through the whole thing, do addition and subtraction from left to right. I have 12 minus negative 8. Subtracting negative turns into 12 plus 8 plus 1, and that just simplifies to equal 21. So what can we conclude here? If I take function g, and if I input an x value of negative 2, and if I evaluate it, I get back an output value of 21. In point form, that means I have the point when x is negative 2, y is 21. That's 1 point on the graph of this function. All right, that's evaluating functions from equations. If I know the input value, I can calculate it out to get the output value.